Okay. Don't know what that shit was, but whatevs. All right, guys, welcome back. I've got a hour or so before class, or maybe a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see how far we get into it. So last night we left off with our little robot guy. Let me get the outliner out of the way. All right. So before we get started, let me just say I had a dream, and these arms were not in that dream. Also, maybe these little pegs. So my issue with this is that the arms don't match the weight of the object. I mean, they're okay. You could get by with this, and some client would be probably tickled to fucking death, but we are not that client. We are fucking artists. So we're going to do what we do best and just modify until we like it. Okay, so the issue I had is that these don't turn on a swivel. And they're not quite what I want. So let's scrap them for now. Oh, well, we have to scrap them all. Okay, and this is part of the process. Do not be afraid to scrap. Scrapping is, I mean, it is a bitch, but it is what we do. All right, so the issue I had is that I want the arms to kind of swivel. And they can't swivel unless they're kind of on like a ball joint. But can't be just any kind of ball joint. I mean, we gotta kind of mesh it out. Sip a drink. Sorry. Okay. So there's a couple ways we can go about this. Let's bring this down to a little library constructor area here. Let's move it there. Okay. So let's reduce this, and we are going to use these to a point. I think we're going to modify them a little bit. But so what we're going to do is we're going to make that ball joint. So let's duplicate this and shrink it down. So what I want is this kind of cool joint piece to kind of come in here. And let's see how we can do this. There's a couple ways, I guess. We can kind of bring it in here and try it this way. Or we can shrink it. Okay, so let's try that. So let's go ahead and to mesh. We're going to do a Boolean cut right off the bat. And see how that comes out. Do not like this jagged shit here. Okay, so let's try a different approach. Let's think it out. So I want this kind of cool cornered area here, but I want a very specific way. So let's do this first. So let's make just a normal cut on this object. So this is where booleans come really into play with me, because I'm not a... I just like to get the job done. There's no... Especially in Maya, the quicker you can really go about it, your time is kind of money. And especially to a client, when you are, you know, paid by the hour or, you know, by contract price or however time, whatever you charge, you kind of want to show them that you are quick in the field. I mean, quick is experienced here. Okay, and then we're going to copy one of those because we're going to use that here. And we're going to cut this. Actually, yeah, we're going to, you know what, we're going to leave that for now. And I'll tell you why, because as we're working here, I would rather texture out this ball and a flat piece versus an inside cut-in piece and a flat ball, or just a ball. So what we'll do is we'll make this kind of our joint section, and this ball will be a pretty nice little kind of joint piece there. And we can even flatten out this other piece if we want to. I mean, there's any number of things we can do. But we'll work on that shortly. So this will be one joint piece that I really like. So let's do a combine here. Okay, we'll make that kind of a coupler, and we'll add this to the library. That's a little tiny piece. Now we've got maybe a little screw joint that we made last night, this little flathead. We've got this ball joint, and so these components here. So this is what we're going to do. I really want the weight to match the garbage can. I almost want the arms to be seeming like there's no way they could come out of there. Really kind of a really stylized approach. And you'll see it a lot in really cartoony style games, but it also gives kind of a weird creepy factor, like, you know, there's no way this physically could be done. So alright, we're gonna not do that yet. We're gonna copy this from the library. Remember, we are storing from library here. Alright, we're gonna take this, pull it back out, and we're gonna kind of match it up with this trash can here. Alright, we're gonna pull this thing bigger. Alright, what we'll do is we'll kind of adjust this, kind of get that effect. Let's see. Ooh. We're going to mess around with it a little bit. You know, it doesn't have to be exact right now, but just get an idea of what sort of dimensions we want. There we go, something like that. Okay, so let's start adding some cool piston pieces here. Still like this idea here, where these kind of pistons are there, but I feel like they're a little too like single dimensional. So let's make a long piston. We're gonna shrink it. Whoa, reverse that. Those normals can't be like that. All right, let's go into our settings here. The attribute editor. We're gonna go into our cylinder, break it down. I'm going to leave it at 20 because I do want kind of a high poly mesh here. Bring it up, pull it out, rotate it around. And this is another reason why I like to rotate on an axis, because as I'm kind of playing with some of these pieces, I know that they're all rotated at least to a point that I know what I'm looking at. I know, hey, this is the same rotation as these other things I'm using, because I'm rotating on this point, and it looks like I've lost that point. No. Right there. Alright, so this arm's a little thick, but we can add a little style to it to kind of level out how thick it is. And there's any number of things we can do here. So, and don't just do, you know, what everyone else is doing. Like, you know, I mentioned claptrap in the beginning. You can definitely go with a claptrap styled arm, but where's the fun in that? I mean, it is kind of cool, but maybe that's not what we're going for. So now we can reduce this. It's kind of a second joint. We'll bring another pole. And what we'll do as as we kind of pull these out, we'll start parenting the ball to the joint, so that it has that look. So still looks a little dead. So let's add some like hydraulic pieces to it, something that would, you know, make it look like a robot arm. So to get a couple ideas, we're just going to go into Google here, or we're going to maybe open a new window. There we go. Let's see what we got here. A lot of 3D printer stuff. They look kind of cool, and I kind of like how they look. A lot of them are going for the same style we had, though. So let's just kind of keep, you know, kind of checking it out. Let's go back to the claptrap idea and just kind of, you know, looking how they do it. So they go with kind of the same approach. And what they do is they do like a piston thing too, which is really cool. So, you know, we can kind of take that idea and we can mash it in there. Let's see. Yeah, so each of the arms basically have a separate component. So let's do that then. Let's kind of hash out some of these arms. So let's start with the top. Let's get rid of these. And I did delete those, which I should not have, but we are too far down now. Okay, so let's do this then. Let's even this puppy back out. Alright, it's just easier for me to work on a flat level is all it is. Alright, so let's add some cool components to this. So let's add us an edge loop. Too many edge loops. Edge loop tool. Be fucking with me, yo. Alright, maybe too close. Let's try this. Alright, let's grab these. Nope, see? That goddamn edge loop tool. Alright, let's grab these faces and let's extrude them out. Or not. I did not extrude them out. I actually grabbed them and pulled. That was a stretch. Rookie move. But we'll take it. Because it doesn't have to be exact right now. Alright, so let's make this second part a little smaller too. So let's grab... yeah, let's do this. And grab these faces here. And then extrude in. Let's see if we can get this one to work. Yeah. Kind of like that, like it's moving in and out. But what I want to see is that I'm going to make these actually two separate components. So we're going to mesh. We're going to go to separate. No. Yeah. Oh, it did not. Okay. We got to detach first. My bad. We're going to detach, and then we're going to separate. All right, so now we have two separate pieces here, and we're going to fill. Excuse me. We're going to fill this hole here. So let's make it just an easy fill. So we're going to grab these edges here. We're going to go to. I have a tool here, just a hole complete. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring it in just a little bit. Or not. Oh, we extruded edges, that's why. Again, rookie move. Man, off my game today. Alright, now we're going to grab the face. We're going to pull it in. We're going to extrude in just a little bit to give it... You won't see it, but you'll know it's there. And that's our little secret. We're going to keep it. We're going to Bob Ross that shit. But, you know, just to give it, as you're doing any kind of renderings or whatever, just that extra little bit of kind of... a movement with the shadow, just that really cool kind of little bits of shadow here and there. All right, so let's bring it in. Boom. Okay, so now we got this cool kind of piston component, so we can move this in and out as we want. She said. Oh, chat went there. Okay. So we'll bring this in, and then we'll do is we will bring this out as its own little component. That's kind of a connector piece. Okay, so you see now it's quickly developing into a whole different kind of setup here. And what we'll even do is let's just kind of make some little edges here and there, just to give it a little character. So let's do some of these. Grab this face. No, I don't even want to do that. I'm going to add another edge. Kinda, no, we're going to do a full center here. I'm going to grab this and pull it out. And we're going to bevel it. Give it kind of a cool round look. There we go. And it still looks, I mean, we're getting there. We're developing the idea. Developing the idea is important. So let's go back to some reference pictures here. Okay, so another little thing that Claptrap has that I like the idea of is maybe the plates on the arms versus inside the robot, but I don't think it would work for us. So I don't know. We'll play with that. Maybe not. Not a big fan of that right now. But we do need some extra little components here and there. So let's do. Let's add a little box to it. Let's see if we can get this as, and this one we don't really need it to be centered because we're kind of going for a character here. So we can even try to take it and do some cool little notches in it maybe. Like maybe these are just kind of I don't know, indicators, little lights, or that'd be cool. Some little lights on the arm. Like a little bit of maintenance. Alright, let's take some of those here. And let's just duplicate a couple of these. Let's bring this one out a little further. And then fuck it, let's take another one and just rotate it.